Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaura Premanandi, Devam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Brahmachari Ashram Śrīmad Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasavatale Srimadi Tamal Krishna Goswami Iti Namani Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaputale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Vaschata Desatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayer Nasya Praeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, Chapter 23, Maharaj Prithu is going back home, text 38. Vaichitra Virya Abhihitam Mahat Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Atimartyam Partavim Gatim Apnuyad Vaichitra Virya Vihitam Vaichitra Virya Vihitam Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Atimartyam Asmin Kritam Atimartyam Partavim Gatim Apnuyat Partavim Gatim Apnuvat Vaichitra Virya Vihitam 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 Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Atimartyam Partavim Gatim Apnava. Vaishnavis. Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Atimartyam Partavim Gatim Apnava. Ladies, no takers. Vachitra Viryam Vihitam Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Atimartyam Partavim Gatim Apnuyat Vaichitra Virya Vihitam Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Mati Martyam Patavim Gatim Apnuyat. Vaichitra Virya, O son of Vichitra Virya, Vidura, Abhihitam, explained, Mahat, great, Mahatmya, greatness, Suchakam, awakening, Asmin, in this, Kritam, performed, Atimartyam, uncommon, Partavim, in connection with Prithu Maharaj, Gatim, advancement, destination, Apnuyat, one should achieve. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, I have as far as possible spoken the narrations about Prithu Maharaj which enrich one's devotional attitude. Whoever takes advantage of these benefits also goes back home, back to Godhead like Maharaj Prithu. Please repeat. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, I have as far as possible spoken the narrations about Prithu Maharaj which enrich one's devotional attitude. Whoever takes advantage of these benefits also goes back home, back to Godhead, like Maharaj Prithu. Purport. The word Shravayat, mentioned in a previous verse, indicates that one should not only read for himself, but should also induce others to read and hear. That is called preaching. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended this practice, Yare Deka Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesha. Whomever you meet, simply talk with him about the instructions given by Krishna, or tell him of narrations about Krishna. Prithu Maharaj's history of devotional service is as potent as narrations about the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should not make distinctions between the pastimes of the Lord and the activities of Prithu Maharaj. And whenever it is possible, the devotee should attempt to induce others to hear about Prithu Maharaj. One should not only read of his pastimes for one's own benefit, but should induce others to read and hear about them also. In this way, everyone can be benefited. It's pretty much the same, the next verse. Anudinam idam adarena shrinvam pritu charitam pratayan vimukta sangha Bhagavati bhava sindhu potapade sachani puna labate ratim manusya. Whoever with the great reverence and adoration regularly reads, chants and describes the history of Maharaj Prithu's activities will certainly increase unflinching faith and attraction for the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord's lotus feet are the boat by which one can cross the ocean of nescience. Purport. The word Bhava Sindhu Potapade is significant in this verse. The lotus feet of the Lord are known as Mahatpadam. This means that the total source of material existence rests on the lotus feet of the Lord. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, everything is emanating from Him. This cosmic manifestation which is compared to an ocean of nescience, is also resting on the lotus feet of the Lord. As such, this great ocean of nescience is minimized by a person who is a pure devotee. One who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord need not cross over the ocean, for he has already crossed it by virtue of his position at the Lord's lotus feet. By hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord or the Lord's devotee, one can become firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. This position can also be achieved very easily by narrating the history of the life of Prithu Maharaj regularly every day. The word Vimukta Sangaha is also significant in this connection because we associate with the three qualities of material nature. Our position in this material world is full of dangers, but when we engage in the devotional service of the Lord by the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, we immediately become Vimukta Sangha or liberated. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 4th canto, 23rd chapter of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam entitled Maharaj Prithu's Going Back Home. Maharaj Prithu ki Amajnana Timirandasya Jana Jana Shalakaya Chakshu Sanmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkripa Tamam Vande Shri Gurum Dena Tarana Paramananda Madam Shri Chaitanya Ishvam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sagodito Gododaya Pushpavante Chitro Sandhu Tamonudo. Hare Krishna. So in the previous verse, or text 38, Vaichitravirya Bihitam Mahan Mahatmya Suchakam Asmin Kritam Matimartyam Partavim Gatim Abnuya. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, I have as far as possible spoken the narrations about Prithu Maharaj which enrich one's devotional service. Whoever takes advantage of these benefits also goes back home, back to Godhead like Maharaj Prithu. So there are nice instructions in the verse itself as well as in the purport. We can gather some inspiration as well as improve our devotional attitude as well as practice. So one of the things that's been highlighted from verse 31 all the way to 39 is the benefits of reciting or the glories of such personality. Particularly here is about Prithu Maharaj, right? How many of you have read the whole section of Prithu Maharaj? Been continuously reading. So if you want the benefit, you should read. If you don't want the benefit, that's okay. No one's going to force you. But you have to think, right? This is the process Srila Prabhupada wanted. So each and every one of you have to contemplate carefully and ask yourself, where do you want to be in 6 months in your devotional practice, in a year, in 5 years, like that. You have goals, right? Material goals. I'm renting now. 5 years later, I want to get a 3-room house, and then I'll get another 5-room house, and soon I will conquer the world. Right? We think like that. So you have material goals, but so similarly you must have spiritual goals. It's a basis by which you can exist in material world. Without spiritual context, your existence is meaningless, or you find whatever you pursue ends up in futility. Or it's not as what you thought of or as you dreamed. You go to college, you think, I'm going to get my degree and wow, I'm going to get a job. And then you write in your resume, you send in, and then you find that job's not coming so easily. Prabhupada said the person who goes to college and then he gets his degree, and when he goes looking for a job, he's like a dog. He goes barking, woof, 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 give me something, woof, 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 give me something. Particularly you can't see it in the Western countries, but if you're in India, you can see it, especially in Vrindavan, right? all the shop owners, they have so many shops and they sell all kinds of food and stuff like that. And these dogs that come, they'll come and then they'll come to the store to get something. And within each store, they have their own dogs. Or rather, the dogs have adopted the store owners. And then they are like, this is my territory. So they'll bark at the other dogs. So it is like that. When you are looking for a job, you are actually barking. Yeah? You're saying, woof, please give me something. And then they will like, oh, let me look at your resume and stuff like that. Nobody cares about your character. Nobody cares about how good a person you are. Here we're seeing an exalted and incredible quality that Prithu Maharaj has displayed. Nowadays it's not important, right? Just look at the President of the United States, right? Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. It's funny, but it's a fact. People seem to have no understanding of what good character and values of being a human being is anymore. So it is so imperative that when we read the Bhagavatam, we should ask, can I be like Prithu Maharaj? Maybe not so much, but can I follow some of these things? Can I attain some of these qualities? Yeah, it's doable. If you focus carefully, certain things you can do. But to be able to do that, you must know the pastime. And therefore, it is important because Srila Prabhupada wrote all this, not because for book distribution, but more for us, so that we become ideal devotees, quality devotees, that whoever walks through that door, they look at us, they say, I want to be like these people. Like how many of you want to say you want to be like President Trump? Right? You think, right? Like that, You don't want to be like those person. So, it is important. Like when little kids come and they see Prabhu play the kirtan, they think, Mommy, I want to play mridanga like Prabhu. I want to be like that. Yeah? They have good role models like that. So similarly, each and every one of you must become a role model. And if you are a role model, then Yare Deka Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. It's so easy. Then it's so easy to talk about Krishna. Because you have practiced it, you know what it's all about, you know the value it has given you, it has made you a better person, right? Just imagine 10, 15 years ago when you were not practicing, what you were doing and what you're doing now, you can compare. And then you're like, man, it's like day and night. And you're shocked that I could be like that, So Prabhupada said, we take the hippies and make them happies, So similarly, we take all the depressed, people in the country, we give them Krishna consciousness, we tell them the joy of practicing it and the joy of association among devotees, right? When we practice Krishna consciousness, it's just not just chanting and caring for ourselves, it's not. It's a collective activity, This is why we say it's sadhu sangha. So by creating this atmosphere of good quality association and devotees, we raise the collective consciousness. Every one of us will raise the consciousness. We have a certain standard, and when people come in, they're like, oh, wow, I never knew people were like that, Yeah. And then after that, they go back home, they think, man, those people were so nice. And then they'll come again and again. As long as you maintain a good standard, the attraction will be there. And that's what yesterday Aniruddha Prabhu was saying, when you experience in totality this Krishna consciousness, the kirtan and so on, each and every one of you become empowered. The Lord smiles in your heart. He is also dancing. Mahaprabhu, Nityananda in your heart are dancing. And as they dance, you feel joy, and that joy is what most people out there are hankering for. Right or not? They want that, and they can't get it. So they look forward towards some television programs, some movie, right? Or some silly game on the, what do you call that? mobile and stuff like that, right? All you do is your fingers and the thumb gets very strong, you know. And your brain gets dull. Yeah, this technology, all these games in these computers, they don't help you develop a thinking process. They don't help you develop good logical thinking also. You don't. Rather, you only get good at your reflexes, you know. Ping, 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 yeah, that's it, you know. So, we don't want to develop those kind of qualities. I mean, if you can develop both, great, you're exceptional. But we are more into developing Krishna conscious qualities. And then we can go out and talk to people, right? And when we talk to people, we know why we are wanting to give them this knowledge, right? You understand the value of that knowledge that you want to give a person. Normally when you go out on books and so on, if you do not understand what you're doing, you will always be frightened, shaking, do not know what to do. Then the only thing you can do is pray to Krishna, well, help me distribute the books. But if you know why you're giving, then it makes a lot of sense. Then you know this activity is so good for these people. It doesn't become a selfish endeavor. It becomes more of a real social welfare. Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is the real social welfare. Because socially we are all spiritual living entities who want to have good association. And that's why we are all missing. And we can't get it any other way unless we give up our hankering for material needs and stuff like that. We are not saying, and Prabhupada didn't say that you don't, you can't have a good house, you can't have a big, bungalows and so on. No, you can have all that, but ultimately your center should be Krishna, right? Like when you get up in the morning, what is the first thing you do? Okay, pick a student. You don't know, your answer was like, pray, Krishna? What is it? You get up and say Hare Krishna? You do it? Okay. What about you? You do pranam to? To your spiritual master? Okay. Then Prabhupada? And then? Okay. That's good. You should also loudly praise the presiding deity that you all come to, right? Shri Radha Vallabha ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki, Gaur Nitai ki, and thank you Srila Prabhupada. Others like that. It is so relevant that you do this daily, then you have a what? A relationship. Right? That's what Krishna consciousness is, right? We have a relationship. But if you're not going to do, then you're developing what? Yeah, impersonalism. So you should ask yourself, why am I not thanking the Lord? Why am I not thanking my spiritual master? Why am I not thanking Srila Prabhupada? Why am I not thanking my parents for making me such a good person that I took up Krishna consciousness? Right? All this you should think. Krishna consciousness is a thinking activity. It's an active principle that, jiva is very active. We shouldn't develop such, as he was saying, an impersonal attitude. We shouldn't. And then when we meet devotees, we greet one another, we should always ask, how's your Krishna consciousness? And you mean it. You should ask, are you okay doing? Are you chanting fine? When you start developing these qualities of care, then you can actually go out and care for others. Otherwise, how can you care, right? You are an impersonalist, and impersonalists don't really care. They only worry about moi, me, like that. So you should try to get out of that mindset, or the way you were brought up, and the way you were conditioned over many years. So give those things up, you know. Ask yourself, is it really helping me in my process of Krishna consciousness? You know, how valuable it is, you know. It is so important. And then, when you develop such attitude and such relationship with one another, and when you read these pastimes, it will touch your hearts. Because you can relate to those things, and then you can also want to develop such qualities. Did you read the section where Prithu Maharaj thanks his countrymen and everyone? You know how wonderful it is? It's so touching, you know. He thanks them so out of his heart. He tells them, thank you for being my citizens, like that. You know? So do you feel that way with one another? This is sadhu sangha. We have to develop and feel with our friends and associates, you know. It shouldn't be artificial, you know. When we hug one another, it should be, I am so happy. One of the qualities of a Vaishnava is he wants to touch the body of another Vaishnava, so he gets purified. Yeah? Not like, ew, I don't want to touch you. Pick and choose. Yeah, to some extent, okay, but still, the affection you should develop. This is pretty lakshana. And you got a very nice group of brahmacharis here also, very nice. So all of you should be supportive to them and encourage them to remain in the ashram if they can, and you know. It should be such that, you know, grihastha should invite the brahmacharis. Not saying I want to be invited. I'm just saying, you have a very nice group of boys, invite them, you know, give them prasadam, encourage them in their preaching, encourage them for their qualities they are showing in the temple and so on. And in the same way, when you praise them and pray, you will also develop such qualities that you're looking for, you know. Krishna consciousness is like that. We want everyone to be excited and wanting to, you know, come rushing to the temple room, you know, right? Mangala Arati, you know, your temple is small, you know, but it's okay, you know. Come, everyone should come and squeeze in, you know, pull someone out. I want to see Krishna. Right? It should be like that, you know. Like I was told in LA, just to do the artis and so on, there's a big queue. So sometimes it takes 2 months just to get to do arti, like that. So the devotees there have so much love just to want to do service. So the same thing is here, you know, you have such a big, nice congregation, and I think it's one of the best temples I've been also, because so many devotees come for Mangala Arati. Most temples, you know, there's more deities than the devotees. Yeah, but you know, so here you have an opportunity, a chance to even go in the next stage, yeah, of devotional excitement, you know, that you can share. So that's what Prabhupada is saying, Yaradeka Tarekaha. Not just to outsiders, you should also talk to one another and encourage, come, why are you staying at home? Oh, I worked the whole week, I'm so tired, I want to sleep in. What's wrong with you? Right? That's what we are trying to get out, you know. So come, and you can inspire. If you come during the weekend, then the whole 5 days is nothing. And you'll be looking forward for the next weekend. So the 5 days will fly. And then one day you'll say, hell with the 5 days. But I'm not saying everyone can do that. But the thing is, as you develop together, as you all have become closer and more affectionate in your dealings with one another, this will enrich your community. You will all have a reason for being around, you know, right? So it'll be so nice, so wonderful. And then just like when you go out on Rath Yatra, you say, like, so wonderful, you're all so happy. When you go on Harinam, like Aniruddha Prabhu was mentioning, it was so nice. I was thinking, how come I didn't see more devotees? You know, because I saw more people in Mangalarti than Harinam. Yeah. So, you know, you should go. I heard there's 2 Harinams, right? Yeah, in some cities you can't even do Harinam. In America they have so many laws. You can't do this, you can't do that. And if you have to do some public thing, they say, okay, we'll give you a location. And they do. In Houston, they tell us, go to this place, and it's like 50 meters away from the main thoroughfare. So people will be walking that far, and we can only stand in one corner and do our kirtan or so-called Harinam. So you guys are so fortunate. So don't lose the opportunity. Every time you go and participate in Harinam, Mahaprabhu is so pleased, Chaitanya is pleased, Prabhupada is pleased. Unless you're sick, unless you have some other services to do, that's okay. But there's 2 days in a week. And if your Harinam is so great, then maybe it can become 3 days a week. Yeah, or 4 days, who knows, But it's doable. These are not things that is unachievable. These are things you can achieve. And this is what Yarideka Tareka is all about. So people see how happy and wonderful we all are. Right? Devotional practice means you should become happy. As soon as you take and chant, you become happy. Okay. Minimum 2 days. Yeah, I know. I'm saying you can increase. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Go for it. Yeah. So you pull others, all the ladies next to you, and say, come for the next Harinam, Don't be a dead log in your home, right? So this is so wonderful, And in the next verse, how Srila Prabhupada says that one can take shelter of the lotus with the Lord and need not cross over the ocean. It reminds me of Markandeya Rishi. You all heard of Markandeya Rishi? He had the benediction of living for 7 kalpas. Do you know what a kalpa is? No? Oh, it's in Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter. A kalpa is 1 day of Brahma. Do you know how long 1 day of Brahma is? No? No, you should know these things. Yeah. Huh? No, 1 kalpa is 1,000 Maha Yugas. Okay? So it's like 4.32 billion solar years. That's only 12 hours. So 24 hours is double it. Okay? So that's 1 day of Brahma. Yeah. So in the night time when Brahma sleeps, it gets very scary. The whole thing, the whole mess. Sometimes pralaya happens. Pralaya means some destruction comes up. The water comes up from the bottom of the Garbhodaka ocean. It just comes up to the planetary system. And then some planetary systems will be destroyed. The upper demigod planetary system may not be destroyed during the evening of Brahma when he goes to sleep. So some destruction happens. So when one time Markandeya Rishi was meditating in his ashram, then everything happened, and then he was you can read this in the 12th canto, right? Then he gets sucked up. So he gets thrown about in the ocean, and then he doesn't know, and then he sees all kinds of terrible creatures, timingalas. Timingalas are supposed to be great fish that can swallow a whale, so just imagine. Yeah. Huge, and sharks and all that, and he was like, what's happening? And finally it slows down, and he sees an island, a glowing island, and a banyan tree. So he gets to the island, and it's a small island, and he looks up at the tree. It's effulgent and so radiant, and then in one of the banyan leaves was a little sapphire-like bluish boy. It's in the leaf, and he's looking at Markandeya Rishi, and then he's holding his feet, lotus feet, and he's putting it in his mouth, little baby, And then he looks at Markandeya Rishi and said, All these sages and saints, they're all meditating on this feet, and I'm trying to figure out why is that. Of course, that Ken Rishi is shocked because he realizes this is the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna in the leaf. So he's known as Vadapatra Shai, and he's sucking. So now you know why that baby Krishna is putting the lotus toe in his lotus mouth. Because he wants to find out what is so great about my feet. Everybody is worshipping about my feet. So then Markandeya Rishi is like saying, no, you can't taste like that. You have to be a devotee to taste your lotus feet. And then the Lord then inhales. As he inhales, Markandeya Rishi goes into his body. And then he goes inside his stomach. And again he sees the entire material creation. One of his requests, he asked Narayan Rishi. Right? He asked Narayan Rishi and he said, I want to experience the material energy, how it is. So he was getting a full dose. So he went into the stomach and he sees all these waves of creation. He sees all kinds of things. And then he sees his heart, he sees where his hermitage was. And then in the next moment, the Lord and then throws him out. And then he comes back. So we are, all of us, we are trying to understand the lotus feet of Krishna, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Shishi, Nitai. Now, if you do deity worship, you get the opportunity to look at their lotus feet. You get the opportunity to touch it, opportunity to put your forehead on that lotus feet. So that desire should be there. To touch the lotus feet, the desire should be there. I want to serve them, and then you get the lotus feet. Right? And if you are so qualified, maybe your spiritual master also may put his lotus feet on your head. Right? So such desires should take place. That is one thing in our Krishna conscious activities like that. And as I said, otherwise if you do not pursue these and you think material life is more important, then you have to face tapatraya. Sanatana Goswami says, then you have to go through the three miseries, threefold miseries, tapatraya. Sanatana Goswami tells Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people say I'm a learned person, but he says, Ke ami, who am I? I don't understand why I am going through the threefold miseries. We all do, we all go through that. So Mahaprabhu then explains to him, our original constitutional position is Jivera Swarup Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. We were created for, what were we created for? That's it. You know the answer. We were just created for service, not for anything else. The human form of life is simply meant for serving and performing devotional service. So, the Sat Chit Ananda, the Chit potency will give you the knowledge. We all have that knowledge innately in us to do service. Nothing else. We can try to do many other things, but we will never be satisfied. Our nature is to serve. So when we understand that properly, we learn how to serve nicely, then you will be in your constitutional position. So one thing you all should go home and think about, try to think because it's important, ask yourself why you are not the body. Or ask yourself, how do I know I am not the body? That's your homework. Think about this thing. It may take you a few days to come to some realization, or it may take you a whole lifetime. Okay? So ask yourself this.